Hey, good day to you guys. I am giving you an update on the things that I am building in my custom diecast workshop today. Right now I've got this 2020 Matt Kenseth number 42 Clover from the soon to be what is it, end of this year. Chip Ganassi's calling it quits, selling his team to Trackhouse Racing. So, yeah, I guess he's done. I don't know if he's not making any money, having a hard time getting past the Kyle Larson fiasco, but he is done after this year, and we'll see where Ross Chastain and Mr. Kurt Busch end up. But yeah, interesting. Trackhouse Racing. Daniel Suarez is having a super season. Of course, I don't think they had really high expectations, but wow. Anyways, I digress. Decals have been sitting in this water for a little bit today, and just trying to get this. Wow, that's reflective. You can almost see me there in the car, huh? In the hood there? That's funny. I was thinking this earlier. I'm just a little kid in a big body. You know? Aren't we all, though? Some degree. I go to our men's prayer breakfast on Saturdays, and there's some supermen in there. Guys that, are in the military for 20, 30 years and have their own businesses, and kids are either in the military or, highly technical field, or, some have kids that are missionaries across the world. And I'm sitting there like, man, I ain't nobody. But still feel God can use me. But sometimes I'm like, man, I'm just a kid, just a simple guy, not too complicated. I don't have deep, intellectual thoughts or actions really. But just like the simple life. Hence this hobby, right? Just a nice, quiet hobby. I don't know if you can hear the music. I've got a YouTube guy I follow, listen to. What's he called? Dappy T Keys is his name, and he just does instrumental music pretty much. And of late, he's always live. Now, I'm sure it's obviously recorded, and he just plays it live, but very relaxing, calming music. So I wanted to share with you a couple things. If you remember yesterday, I was kind of freaking out because our hot water heater wasn't working. And so I'd removed the burner assembly. It's not rocket science. To you young guys out there, I want to recommend something to you. Don't be afraid to tackle home projects by yourself. We have such a huge amount of information available at our disposal with this YouTube's, and highly recommend, before you call and ask for help, do some research on your own. And if you get some tools, you might be able to tackle it yourself. Obviously, safety. You want to be safe. But anyways, I removed the burner assembly like I've done in the past and kind of cleaned it. There's a flame sensor there that gets a little corroded over time. And anyways, long story short, it wasn't the hot water heater. The gas company had come out a couple days ago, and they had replaced our meter I don't know, for whatever reason. And the guy forgot to turn the gas back on. So yesterday I was like, freaking out. Got to get some hot water back going on. I never thought that it was a gas problem. And I was upstairs and I said, hey, let me try the gas stove just to see if it lights. And it wouldn't light. And right then and there I knew I was wasting my time. Called the gas company. The guy was out in like 15 minutes, turned the gas on, and we were rolling. So here I am, getting ready to pull my hair out because I couldn't get the hot water heater running. And actually I was close to buying a new hot water heater because I was like, couldn't figure it out. And also it's 17 years old, so it's an old hot water heater. Usually things don't last that long. But anyways, we are good to go. But something else happened yesterday, and I got in trouble. So I was painting those puppies. Ended up painting all 5 of them. That high performance yellow. And I ran my fan. I ran it from like 8 o'clock to like 11 o'clock. For 3 hours straight, I was running it. And I went upstairs around, lunchtime. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, that was close. I almost rolled it right onto the floor. That would have been a disaster. But I could smell a little bit of the paint at the top of the stairs, and I'm like, oh no, my wife's going to kill me. She smells this. She's going to get mad. And that's exactly what happened, even though I opened up like the back door and a window. I got yelled at. So the fan, I think the fan helps. But I gotta figure out something else. So I was racking my brain last night what I could do. Obviously, Rust-Oleum doesn't recommend you do a lot of painting inside, areas, closed areas without fans and things like that. I have no problem. Doesn't bother me. Paint smells, oil, gasoline smells, none of that stuff bothers me. But yeah, I don't live by myself. I live with other people I love and care about. So I have to be mindful of their needs. So this morning, after our men's prayer breakfast, I went over to Walmart and I bought a drop cloth. So let me show you what I did. This will be, let's say the fan was phase 1. This is phase 2. So let me go over here. Oh, by the way, there's Mr. Dappy. If you can see his username. Dappy T Keys Piano Worship. I don't normally watch it because he's kind of does those gyrations and stuff, but I really enjoy the music. Very good. So let me show you what I did. Let me come over here. So I bought this, it's very thin drop cloth, and across this I-beam here I kind of wiped it down, cleaned it, so I could have a clean surface when I tape. And I just got some cheap duct tape and taped it up there so it's secure all the way across. Now obviously I have a little bit of a gap there on the side here, so some fumes can get through there. My devotional chair's on the other side. I also have there's a little hole, actually maybe a good size hole where some pipes run, and then over on this side here I have an opening, a pretty good size opening, right? Because I'm gonna kind of be able to walk through, right, to this side. So my thought process is, if I'm painting here, I've got my fan right there, and I've got this, drop cloth across here. That we'll see how it works. So I'll use this for like a week, see if there's any complaints or anything like that. And if there are, then the next step, phase 3, I'll try to enclose that area there on the side. I'll put another piece here, down here, and just, I'll have to pull them apart in order to get through. But I'll try to secure that a little bit better. And if that doesn't work, guys, I might have to set something up outside. Because there is nothing like trying to be at peace with your wife and family. And I don't want this to, be a problem. So, I mean, it is a problem, trying to solve it. But this is what I bought. Nothing complicated. Just a very thin .31 mil. It's actually 9 feet by 120 feet. So I've got 120 feet, 12-foot sections, 9 foot high, and it's perforated. And this was, I think, $8 at Walmart. That whole box. So I should be fine. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see, guys, if that does the trick. I'm cautiously optimistic. So, let's get back to this. The yellow looks good. And I have to admit that the yellow, the high performance yellow, is a little strong smelling. But this turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe it's because I painted 5 cars yesterday. And, yeah. So I had a little, what happened here, I got like a little fuzzy on the back end there. You can see that. And so, I'm going to use this particular body for the one where I have the actual, full wrap cars. So you can see how that matches up. And so I'll cover it with this. But there's your high performance yellow against your Starburst duos. And that's really good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's good from my perspective. It'll be hardly noticeable. And then this is the finished product of the 18 after multiple coats of the Pledge, and then a coat of the Tester's gloss coat, top coat. So, if you can tell, the hood's a little glossier than the roof, just because I was putting a little bit extra here for when I needed to paint that front. But you can see how that front turned out. If it'll focus. So, is that believable? Looks like that blue M&M is right smack there, and I don't have any white showing through here anywhere. Because I think if I wouldn't have painted, I would have had a little bit of white right there, and maybe a little bit of white across here. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I hope Stefan likes it. Yeah, just a word about Stefan. So, if you recall, he had won that. I had an auction for a Kyle Busch Skittles Zombie green car, and he won the auction for it. I shipped it over to him in France back in March. He never got it. and so I'm going to send him a few cars for free. We passed the 90 days, so I didn't refund him his money because we were hoping that it would show up, right? And actually, about 3 weeks ago, I got an update on the tracking number, and it said it was in Georgia. So, I don't know. I mean, what the heck, eBay? Actually, I think it's DHL. I think DHL is somehow aligned with eBay and handling some of their international shipping. But Stefan and I have been communicating, and he's like, yeah, I've got some friends that have also had packages not show up from the United States and end up in Georgia. So I'm expecting, well, I won't say I'm expecting, but I'm hoping and praying for one of two things: that the package goes to him eventually, because it's got his name and address on it. Dang it, it should go there. And number two, that if it doesn't go to him, it comes back to me, right? I mean, so anyways, that's what I've got going on with Stefan. I try to be as stand-up as I can, and he's doled out a good amount of money, and he's waiting for his stuff, and so I appreciate his patience with me and with the whole transaction. So, hindsight 2020, I probably should have refunded his money right when we saw there was a problem, and then yeah. But you live and learn. I'll make it right for him. Send him a few cars, no charge. So that's looking pretty good. Now comes the fun part. Yeah, what do these take? Trying to think how long it takes me to do this from my other video. Probably saw maybe like, 15 minutes to try to get this right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bore you guys with this today. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'll get some microsole here. I have to tell you, when I do these front ends, trying to do them in front of the camera like this, and I apologize, this when I have it angled such that it's showing the cars in the back, it wants to focus on those. You know what I mean? So the focus is out of whack. It's not where I want it to be. I want it to be here. But when I work on these, I usually kind of pull them into my lap and work them in with my fingers, my thumbs, like this. So as I kind of hold it in front of the camera, it's a little awkward for me. It takes a little longer. So that's one of the drawbacks of trying to get some of the stuff that I do on camera. So yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to work it and guys saw how I did the last one. It's going to be very similar. I'm going to get some microsol here in a minute. So, alright guys, let me just say, not sure I'll do a video tomorrow, being July 4th. What an awesome country we live in. What a history that we have. 245 years. Blessed nation of God. And, but I tell you what, if we fall away from God and we remove Him from our lives, from our country, I mean, the Bible's very clear. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. When we turn away, and some think we've already turned away, we turn away from God, Creator, His Son Jesus Christ. We're in trouble, guys. We're going to be in trouble. You know, God always doesn't discipline quickly. He's a patient and loving God, forgiving and kind. However, He's also just, and He does not let the guilty go free. Does not like unbelief. And so, if indeed we are going to be turning to our own wisdom, turning to our own selves as a nation, it may go well for a little while as God pleads with us to turn from our wicked ways. But if we don't, discipline's going to come. Just look what He did with the nation of Israel. He was patient, forgiving. But there comes a time when sin has to be dealt with. Unbelief has to be dealt with. So, 245 years, I pray that you guys pray for our nation. Pray that we'd get right with God. Turn to His ways. His ways are good. His ways are good. We may not like His ways, but they're good. The issue is not with God's ways, but with us. So, pray you guys have a blessed weekend. Enjoy celebrating our country's freedoms here this weekend. Enjoy the race, Road America tomorrow. That should be a good, entertaining race. And God bless you. Hope you have a great weekend again, and we'll talk to you in the next video.